It's time for another get real moment in this mirror work practice. It's time for you to recognize how you judge others, the world around you, and every experience that you live. Do you naturally just expect negativity? Do you naturally assume pessimism? Do you look at other people and instantly assume a negative characteristic? Because again, your perceptions are direct reflections of your conception. So if you're out there judging the world, judging your experiences, judging others all the time, gossiping, etc., you're creating more of that negativity. You're assuming negativity, and therefore the universe has no other option but to give you more of that. So let's get real and stop judging and start loving. So this is what we're going to do. For day one of this mirror practice, we're going to start to recognize how the way in which you judge others and the world and your environment is actually the way you're judging yourself. Because everything in your experience is a mirror in itself, a mirror for what is going on internally and how your quality of life is expressed every day. And so for the first day of this 3-day practice, you're just going to start to observe where you're judging, how you're judging, and how often you judge everything around you and outside of you. Just catch yourself, just notice it. And maybe take a little note, log it in a journal so that you can really be attentive to how often this occurs, when, and maybe what the root is behind it, what you're really feeling and what's really causing you to want to judge something outside of yourself in a negative way or non-loving way. So start there for day one. Then on day 2 of this mirror work practice, I want you to start really catching yourself in the judgment. I want you to really notice when you're judging, and I want you to start to see if you can pause before making that judgment. Or even if you don't recognize it until after you judge, I want you to notice it, and I want you to really acknowledge it and take accountability, recognizing that you have a choice to not judge, and that maybe you just chose against that choice. Maybe you chose something you could have chosen better on. Just catch yourself. Now that you've observed it, it's time to really start taking accountability for it. That's day 2. Just take accountability. And maybe note what comes up when you start to take accountability. Not judging yourself for it, not guilt tripping yourself for judging, because that'll just continue to perpetuate that cycle, but instead just acknowledging, hey, I could have chose something different, but here I am judging again. And then on the 3rd day, the last day of this segment of the mirror work practice, I want you to start reversing the judgment. So not only are you going to observe the fact that you're judging, and you're going to take accountability for the fact that you judged and the fact that you actually had a choice, and you took a choice that maybe wasn't necessarily serving you or others or the world. On the 3rd day, you're going to start to reverse that choice. You're going to start to really say, how can I create a more positive outlook? How can I shift my judgmental perception into a positive and affirmative action to really create more love and more bliss and more beauty in my life and in the world around me? So instead of judging, I'm going to choose to look at something with love, with appreciation, with compassion, with the idea of everything is beautiful. And that's when you're going to start to really see the shift in your experience in the mirror that is existent, always reflecting back to you in every moment in your life, through relationships, experiences, and your environment. When you choose to have a more positive perception of things, you're choosing to have a more positive reflection of things show up in your life, which then allows for a more positive conception or creation of your life moving forward. So in this 3-day mirror work practice, you're going to really allow yourself to shift and transmute all of the energy that has not been serving you from your perceptions into your reflections, into your conception, and create more beauty in that process. so that you can truly see how beautiful and expansive and vibrant your life can be when you choose to perceive it and to shift the paradigm to allow that into your life. Enjoy, and let me know how it goes.